Unfortunately, that thing is definitely never gonna see the light of day. Great conversation.
Oh, well.
Great
Fantastic.
conversation. Great conversation. Up until one moment, which I'm not gonna say here. Great conversation. It was great to see Mega join the podcast again, even if it was just for a joke.
Just for a joke. It's the step.
Yeah, she asked me a couple days ago, or she asked me like 2 days ago, for one of the photos that I have of like me in the glow in the dark face paint and the head Jesus sticker.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sent me what they look like in Tamagotchi.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Here, wait, I'll
awesome.
post them here. Shit, she changed.
Yeah.
She changed everything, so I got very confused of where the fuck was Paprika.
Oh yeah.
I'll post them here, and then I'll open them. I'll open them up on the thing so that everyone else can see them.
Yeah. We get the first sneak peek.
Mm.
That's crazy.
I told Mega the Headrammer one, and I will.
That's uncanny.
Here, I'll show
Oh,
mine
man.
first.
Sociable merrymaker.
It's like I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's Headrammer. And to go even further, I told to my response to that photo that she sent me, I said, okay, he seems way too happy, almost like sociopath evil happy.
Like I've seen a lot of Headrammer. That is not a man that smiles 24/7. He's not a smiler much.
Wait. Wait, I just want to zoom in on something here real quick. Wow, that great zoom in there.
Yeah, outgoing.
Why does he have two beards?
I can answer that. That's a Tomodachi life thing. You can't do like multi-beard layering. You have to get like a thin one and then a pop out one. It's annoying.
We're gonna snip this real quick and make it in.
Yeah, just to listen. Can we have another like charity event where Headrammer changes this to his profile picture?
Mega
Headrammer, if you're out there.
Mega immediately changed her thing to a Happy Meal photo instead.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
So should I make this a sticker for the podcast?
Essentially there wouldn't be a harm in it. Might want to like, because you could upload them with transparent backgrounds. If
yeah, I could edit that. I could edit that very easily.
Yeah. I bet it's
not gonna do it right now.
I'm just saying you can make it look really cool.
If you're watching the podcast, I hope you enjoy just this giant photo of Tamagotchi Life Headrammer.
When are we getting the whole crew? I bet we do have a lot of the crew already.
Staring into your soul. Just straight staring.
That's I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. It's not gonna be fun.
I'm not gonna be able to have nightmares because it's 85 in my house.
That's way too hot. That's ridiculous.
I don't want to turn my AC on until fucking June, and I'm almost there. 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks. I can make it 2 more weeks of suffering and 3 hours of sleep.
Maybe.
It doesn't go above 72 here. I can't do anything like that.
Let me ask you this: are you paying the electric?
I'm contributing, but I'm not paying the majority of it. No.
Yeah, I have to pay the majority. I have to pay all of it where I live.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair. I understand. I just couldn't do it. It would drive me crazy.
I mean, there's gonna be a moment. There's gonna be a moment where I wake up at 1 a.m. and my bed's just gonna be covered in sweat, saying "fuck it," I have to put it on. I just have to put it on, and then I'm immediately gonna fall asleep and be a rock.
That happened when I lived in the dorms at my college, and they wouldn't let it go below like 78, and I can't do it. I remember it was freezing, snowing outside, and I said, you know what? I'm opening the window. Like, I woke up, it was 48 degrees in my dorm room. Fantastic temperature. I was actually able to get quality sleep for once.
Nice. So. You're using your blankets. Everything's nice and toasty. You take one step out of your bed. Oh dear God, I am frozen.
I had to get up for class, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to move for a while. It's so cold in here. But it kept my computer cool, so that was a
Yeah.
plus. And I was on the third floor, so the snow didn't get in, but making tactical use of the freezing climate.
Hunter, what about you? You live in a cold area.
It's not cold right now, but
Yeah, no
it's usually
shit.
a lot colder. Like it's in the I know it's in the 80s right now. It's like we peaked at like 88 today, I think. Which when I'm at home makes no difference. Like the place I'm living in now is like it's mainly made of brick, so it stays cool very easily. But I also work in a factory during the day, so staying cool is not much of an option. So once I get home, it's like I could take a sigh of relief.
88 was the high here. 77's about average for this time of year.
I think the high where I am, or at least where I work, was like 83. But because it's on the coast, you always get that breeze, so it cools it down just a little bit.
That's nice.
But like, yeah, that doesn't stop my car from being 95 when I get into it. And
yeah,
and that fake leather where you get out of the car and you just feel all your clothes sticking to it.
yeah, it's already cooled down. It's like 73 degrees now.
It's still 80 where I am.
Good. Well, sucks.
Yep.
The sun won't go down until about 8:30, so it's gonna be hot for a while.
The podcast will just be ending, and you'll be seeing the sun set.
Exactly.
Except for everyone who's watching this, because the sun will probably be rising if you're watching this in the moment it comes out.
Yeah.
But you know what? We've been going for about 7 minutes, not counting I think that was 5 minutes of something that's never going to be released, at least on this podcast channel. Because, like, here's the thing. When we were talking about furries, fine. Perfectly fine. I was okay with that. I was like, okay, maybe I'll post this in like a month and just randomly say, here you go. We got on to the second topic. I understand it.
God.
I understand it. I'm not going to say I completely agree with it, but it's like, hey, it's a valid point. But my grandparents watch, or my only remaining grandparent watches this, and I'm just like, yeah, probably not the best thing to put that out there. But welcome back, everyone, to episode 65 of For the Love of Prod. As always, I'm joined by Huntertain, and our guest this week is Nano. Nano, man, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I actually had learned about the podcast, like, I was telling Hunter about this. We did a CGL event, and I was like, I stumbled into the podcast, like, it showed up on my YouTube recommended feed. I was like, I recognized one of the names.
Really?
And I went to scroll through, and I was like, oh man, I know like half these people. So I skimmed through a few episodes, and I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Shit, it's getting in the recommended, Hunter. That's the first time we've heard that.
That's the first time we're taking a big step in the world.
We're over a year in, and it's the first time we're hearing someone got recommended this podcast, and not just someone who's been on it or someone who is one of our friends.
Yeah, no, I had no idea, and I think it was either Rain's episode or Shadowfang's episode, because I've worked with both of them, and I was like, oh, what are they doing here? I click on it and I see you guys, and I'm like, oh, I've seen them on Twitter before. I know what this is. This is crazy. I skimmed through the channel and I was like, wow, there's so many people and names I recognize here. That's so cool. But
we love Rain here. Big Rain fans here, right, Hunter?
Yeah.
Very big Rain fans. When it rains, it pours.
Dear God. Is that what I called the episode?
You named it When It Rains.
But with an E.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. You know.
Okay, let's get into the normal stuff here before we spiral out of control like we always do, especially last week. Like I said, we talked about furries, baseball, and we definitely talked about other shit in there for a little bit. But
good info, though.
Yeah, really good info. Really good info. McMaster was a fun person to talk to. But, Nano, before we get into our two normal questions that we normally ask everyone, I just wanted to give you the chance to give yourself a short introduction. And basically, all I'm asking with that is tell us what games you work in and what roles you normally do.
So it's difficult. I do collegiate pretty much everything there. I do production, observing, commentating. Primarily play-by-play. The crew's small. It's pretty much just me. So I usually am on Rocket League, Valorant, Overwatch. I used to do League. I've done Smash a couple of times, but mostly my main rotation is Valorant, Overwatch, and Rocket League. Sometimes Marvel Rivals. For collegiate I do everything because I'm the only person there. But for CGL I do production, and then for FaceIt I do Overwatch, my own stuff there as well. So
nice. So someone who does a lot of games and a lot of roles, always nice to have on the podcast because we can talk to you about a lot of different stuff. I just noticed the fucking Soab responded to the photo.
Oh my god.
Just stares, and it's just gonna stare into your soul. I need to deep fry that thing fast after this podcast ends. Okay. But okay, so we're gonna get into the normal things. We normally ask 2 questions. They're back to back. I'll say the first one. You'll probably figure out the second one pretty quickly after I say the first one. But Nano, what got you into esports, and more specifically, what got you into doing esports production?
Man, that's so I mentioned that I did collegiate for a while, and I actually have been doing collegiate for 4.5 years now. And I did it on complete accident. I remember I enrolled in college 4 years ago, and I went up to the esports director and I was like, hey, can I start like a pug group? I want to do like TF2 pugs, and I know like no one plays it, but I'd love to do that. And he's like, oh yeah, sure. You should stop by at our meeting. I go to the meeting and he's like, yeah, so we don't run TF2 at all. I don't know anybody that plays that game anymore. And so I was like, okay, is there anything I can do? And he said, yeah, you should stop by for a stream. And I stepped in and I just watched a couple of seniors. They did the commentating at the time, and then my director did the observing and production. And he was like, hey, you should just practice this sometime. Just get to doing it. And 4 years later, I have done pretty much nothing but production, esports observing, commentating for my university, because it's like I don't have anything else to do on campus. But it was crazy. I didn't intend to do it at all. And that's pretty much how I did it, just by complete accident. I have no player history. Like, competitively, the only competitive game I ever played was TF2. I played a single season in RGL, and my team got 3rd place, and then I just never played again. So production was really the only esports I've ever been attached to.
Before I get into one thing, what college did you go to?
Rogers State University, very small state college in Oklahoma. Not a very big esports production. Literally, the media team 2 years ago, we had 4 people. As of now, we have me. So there's not any flashing colors, nothing fancy going on there. But play for NECC, ECAC, and I do their streams for that pretty much all the time. So
nice. I mean, hey, I got my start on my college's program. God, I have to 6 years ago. Fuck.
He's getting older.
Hunter, do you want to talk about old?
I mean, yeah. I mean, look at me, man. You could have a fucking tic-tac-toe board on this fucking head.
Hold still.
Yeah, you could just do it. You know, you want me to lean down for you?
No, I got it. Just give me one moment. Give me one moment.
You could have just let me and feel slightly better by just saying, oh yeah, you gotta tilt down a little bit.
Yeah, one moment.
It's not even just a 5 head. It's like a 7 head at this point.
There you go.
But I accept it. I shave it well enough now. If you have an actual X on there, that's good.
No.
Good.
It's
Damn, bro. It's not even even, bro. What is this?
I'm sorry, my cat jumped on my desk.
Brother, I swear, I'm predicting now in like 3 minutes, it's gonna be Megalass who freaking responds back. I swear, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I've made this same joke about myself before at some point.
You gotta have some humility in life.
Yeah. Fuck. What was I gonna say? There was something I wanted to talk about.
You were talking about you being through college and doing the stuff there.
No, but he was talking about something else, and I wanted to bring up the college thing first, or just ask where he went. And before I got into the second part, oh dear God, I'm forgetting it. Shit.
This is why you write things down. Come on, you got this.
Rogers State, small Oklahoma college, NECC, ECAC.
Only person on the team now.
Yeah.
I mean, I forgot about it. So.
Oh my God.
But I mean, it's a small college. You're the only person there. I mean, when I
The only person.
I mean, for what he's doing.
No one else is at the college. It's just him.
Only enrolled student.
Only enrolled student. He gets the best fucking attention. He gets all the attention. He better be getting straight A's or else the professors are getting fired. Fuck tenure. You're just out.
True.
But no, like working in that kind of having basically free reign to do whatever you want. Like I said, there's no flashing colors. There's probably not a lot of like special stuff going on, but being able to kind of control all of what you're doing there, you're like, I have to imagine that it feels really good that you're like whatever you're gonna do is gonna go out and be perceived. Do you look at it like that?
It's complicated because like I knew so like because I was really the movie in the latter half of my college time. I was really the only person doing productions. I really wanted to make it so that the program stood out because even though I was one person, I wanted to still be good. And so I looked in literally everywhere, but because I didn't have, like a team or didn't have funding, I didn't really know where to look. So I would kind of just be like, I like the overlays that they're doing for this stream. I wonder if I can do that. And so like it's really cool to have that much creative freedom, but it's difficult at the same time because oftentimes I'm just kind of guessing. Like I had no idea that productions use Sheets.io until like last month. And so I was making up my own applications and like maybe this will work, maybe it looks good. So it's cool at the same time of being like a little on edge because like I'm just kind of guessing. I'm in the dark here.
Yeah, no, like I completely understand that, but like I'll say this, like for what me and Hunter do FaceIt as well, we don't use Sheets.io. We don't. we use straight images, and then we just have text files or just like text boxes that we just type all of our stuff into. Granted, the only stuff we type in are just numbers, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But like it's always very interesting because Sheets.io, then you have stuff like what XYBA and Solomon are doing with their packages, and then you have BGG and their package, which a lot of people, and I think a lot of schools use as well, because it's very basic, very clean, and very easily editable. But it gets you started with using Sheets.io because I believe everything does go through Sheets.io with a BGG package, right?
Yeah. And that was a big thing for me as well. And like I remember because like I didn't know that people use Sheets.io, so I actually like made my own program that was doing what Sheets.io was doing, but I didn't know that Sheets.io existed. So like it controls my overlay for my FaceIt streams, and I made that specifically because I was like, man, RSU would be really cool if I could show what map was just played and without having to go in and add images and everything. So I spent like probably a full month making this application, and then I did a tournament event with Luau, and Luau goes, yeah, so if you download Sheets.io, and I was like, oh, okay. I spent this whole time doing this like really backwards route to get around to it, but it did make RSU streams a little bit better, and I appreciated like putting the time into it, and it's something that I want to develop further, but yeah, it's just completely archaic. Like because I don't have, like a lot of these productions or a lot of experience with that, it's just I'm shooting stuff in the dark and hope it sticks, basically.
Yeah, and like that's like it's exactly how like me and Hunter are doing it right now, just making stuff, hope that it works out. And especially when I first started making graphics for my college's program, it was like I'm just going to make these and see what the program director thinks. And a lot of times it's like, oh, this is awesome, because it's like, hey, we could use it. And like, I was the one pushing to get like, here's game day graphics and here's stream graphics and here's result graphics all ready to go. And he's like, yeah, I wasn't like, he told me he was not going to have any of that stuff like ready here for any of it. But let me here, so this is your package or your stuff, right?
Yeah. So that's everything. So the overlays at the top, I programmed that using Godot, and then I used an HTML web server to feed JSON information between Godot and the web server, and that updates based on my UI in real time. Yeah.
The fuck is that? Why they're using a heart crosshair? Sorry.
Sorry, that's my crosshair.
That's your. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I do not mean to.
You're fine.
No. We judge crosshairs here. I remember the longest time when we were producing before, like we had the setting to like actually have players crosshairs. We'd be doing our thing, and like I would come by once in a while, and I would just see what the hell is that crosshair? Because I know mine's terrible.
Apparently, this part of the stream is muted for copywritten music.
Here's the thing. I really don't care about like ad revenue on Twitch or like
Mhm.
DMC or whatever. So I just play music because I want to listen to stuff. And so during those segments, I let the music roll. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not here for money. I'm here for streaming the games and like getting the content to the players. So during these segments, music plays. But that's the map screen I worked on. I wanted to make it for RSU stuff, obviously, but then it ended up working for FaceIt really well. And it does some other of that back end stuff. Like it automatically fetches the map names and then the image for it.
Nice.
And then I can control all of that using a controller as well. There's a tweet on my Twitter where I added replay code functionality where you could put in the URL of a FaceIt match,
Mhm.
and then it would tabulate the stats of their last played match, tell you their strongest map, their eliminations, their deaths, and their objective time. That way you could get a feel of like how the teams played. It does that automatically. All I have to do is slap the link in there, and that was like the idea, right? Because like I'm doing RSU as a one-man show, and I want this to be like a production, so it looks good. But I also don't have the ability to just sit there and like curate graphics and make sure everything looks good when I'm doing it quickly by myself. So um, I had to think of a way to make something that was fast and looked good without me having to be directly involved the whole time.
I mean, this looks really good, especially for not using Sheets. You said you used Godot.
Godot, I use the game engine because
I was
I'm
gonna.
a game developer,
Mhm.
but I don't know how. Like, it's the best workflow I'm familiar with.
Mhm.
Godot modifies the JSON file, saves it onto my computer, and then I have a web server that reads the JSON file and displays the information. So all of that stuff is modifiable in CSS as well. So if you wanted to change how it looked, you have complete control with that.
I was gonna say I know like I was gonna say Godot, is that the fucking game engine? But then I got thrown off by the Lucio's name for element called Crack Smoker.
Yeah, yeah. Elements Inferno's crack smoker. Yeah. Um,
But like no, this is really nice and it's simple, it's clean, it's easy to see. Like it's really nice for someone who I mean, like you said, not using Sheets.io is using a game engine, but like all the stuff you said about the backend stuff is incredible to like have ready to go right there because I don't even think you see that in some of like the XYBA stuff and the Salmon and the broadcast GG stuff as well. Like it's there, you have to add it in, but like with you already have that all ready to go.
it it's complicated because like there's a lot of moving parts to it, and one of the long-term goals with this is to really compress it down because like it's really feature complex at the moment, but I want to compress it down, make it look good because FaceIt co-streamers, I think they should have access to stuff like this, and I want them to have the ability to just use toolkits like this so that they have the ability to create really any stream. And the comfortable part about it with the current infrastructure is that as long as the core like HTML and JavaScript is in place, you can actually change the CSS of it however you want, which means you can change what it looks like. And that gives the ability for it to basically just be an open canvas and anyone can kind of attach their own branding and logo to it moving forward. But it's in such a complex state because once again, I didn't use Sheets.io because Sheets.io is pretty simple. It's a spreadsheet. This is like you have to have a lot of moving parts. You have to have Python installed on your computer. You have
Oh.
to have a web server set up. You have to like have an API key for FaceIt, and it's like that works well for me because I know what I'm doing. But like I want to make sure that it's accessible for people later on. So I'm thinking of ways to really loop back that down for people that don't have all of that complex stuff installed on their computer.
Yeah, hey, off to a really good start though. Like I'll say that it's really impressive what you have.
Thank you, thank you. I hope that it becomes something that I am more comfortable sharing because like right now I have no design skills whatsoever. Like I talked with Bull Skunk on a stream probably a couple months ago,
Mm.
and I sent some stuff in his Discord, and he's like, "Oh, was that yours?" And he sat there for like 20 minutes, completely roasting my design. He's like, "Okay, I can tell you're not a graphic designer. Let's fix this solid color stuff. Maybe put this here." It
Mm.
was so helpful, but like it goes to show like I have no design aspect of my body at all. I pretty much have just been looking at other people's packages and like, I like that screen. Let me see if I can make that.
I mean, no,
So
like that is a great way to actually like get ideas for stuff. Is take not necessarily like straight up take other people's, but like take a, like you like how this person has it laid out, but you like how this person has like its design, the colors, how they're using it in there. Like you just have to find that like balance of it all. Like the scoreboard overlay that like me and Hunter use in our FaceIt stuff right now is actually really based off of what OBS Sojourn uses on her YouTube uploads. It's based on that, but I couldn't ever get something to work going all the way across without looking like way too much. So I just went with just boxes again, which I kind of want to get away from boxes, but having corners and sharp 90-degree edges just makes everything so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But since we're talking,
inspiration was a big part of it. Yeah.
Since we're talking about graphic design,
My
oh
passion.
man,
it's my passion.
I cannot graphic design to save my life.
Same.
I have some rough drafts of what some of those overlays look like, and let me tell you, black and white color palettes, no good design, just squares everywhere. That's all I got. I've never been good at it, and at this point, I'm not sure I will, because like I spent a lot of time at it, and it's tough. UI is very complicated to me. There are some very talented people out there, and once again, I like Bullskunk. I look at his stuff and I'm like, man, I don't know how he does it. It looks so compact, but it looks so good, and I wish I could emulate that somehow. And I sit there and I toil away, and I'm like, man, this looks really janky. I don't know why, but mine looks janky, and I'm doing basically the same thing. So
I think Bullskunk for he got some help from either Headrammer and Hippie or Solomon or BPL to come in there and do that, because it's all just something where he just has to type in the names and what colors they use in the logo, like you were kind of saying with your thing, having all that ready to go, and then it just automatically repopulates it with whatever it is to get it up there quickly.
But yeah, no, I got into production by complete accident, and I mean, I enjoy it. It's something that I wanted to do, but it's not something that I really anticipated, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, like absolutely. Like the only reason I stayed around and became a caster at my school is because I sucked at the tryouts for it. I was like, oh, I thought I had a chance to make the team. No, did not at all. But I wanted to be a part of the esports program so badly. I just said like, hey, let me do something, anything. I'll be a fucking practice dummy. Let me just do anything. And the coach just said, you know how to cast? I was like, no, but I'll learn.
Yeah, in there.
But let's get on to the second part of the question. So we know what got you in. What keeps you coming back to do this stuff? Like you said, you went to school for game design. You're still in school for game development. My bad. But you're doing this now. What keeps you coming back to esports and esports production?
Kind of a complicated answer, I would say, because like I don't have really an attachment to, I would say, the game as much as I do the space, if that makes sense. I find it really interesting just listening to production. Like, some of my favorite things are just understanding, looking at even just a football game, for example, right? And thinking, how many moving parts are here? How many people are in each other's ears saying, let's go to this camera, let's put this on the screen, let's do that. And so for me, it wasn't necessarily a thing of like, I absolutely love this game, I want to just keep commentating. It was more, I am pretty competent in what I do, and I like the time that I've spent doing it, so I kind of just want to keep doing it. Like, it's not really a space out of like, oh, I love Overwatch, because to be frank with you, I didn't play Overwatch until after I started commentating it. So like, I had literally no experience with the game, and I picked up the game out of sheer coincidence because of, once again, I got into prod. So it's not like a love for really the game as much as it is. I like to see these players. I like to see them move. I like the teams. I like the whole production chain all the way down, and I like being involved in it in whatever way possible. That's why when I went to CGL, I was like, oh, I could do casting. And then Hippie was like, but I could also put you on production. So we're going to do production. And so like, I didn't care because it was like, this is cool. I like being a part of this pretty much all the way down. And so I think what keeps me coming back is just like an appreciation for just how producing works and how much goes into even like co-streaming level all the way up to, tier 2, tier 1, how the differences work between those.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's a lot that goes into it. And I think a lot of people who only watch stuff don't understand how much actually goes into it, because I don't know, like, how long was the like kind of breakdown of how the CGL package works? Because I imagine you either got taught by Headrammer or Hippie. How long was that kind of like call in the Discord? Was that like 30 minutes, an hour and a half long there?
So I had worked on a charity event directly beforehand with that Headrammer was using CGL's platform for. And at that time, I used a USS package that Luau had made. Afterwards, I got referred over. Hippie was there. We talked for about an hour going over the package and making sure that Sheets.io was hooked in. I had just done the charity event with Luau and had the ability to use a lot of USS's knowledge that I had just immediately gained. So it wasn't like a full onboarding because I had actually just gotten the experience for it. But, it was still a full hour, going through each scene, going through audio setups, Sheets.io configuration, SRT links, and, the CGL specific stuff like broadcast matches and knowing how to use those commands, knowing the map pools, knowing when we're going to do interviews and the order of service. And so that definitely was still a long onboarding process, but that to me is like, that's the coolest part. It's like, I like to know why we're doing these things in almost a mathematical sense. We're starting at the top, we're going to follow this linear pattern, but it creates almost a televised bracket, a show that you can watch on repeat.
Yeah, and I mean, Headrammer and Hippie especially have done a really good job at making sure everything is very easy to kind of follow and pick up right away. And especially with them being able to help out, and we talk about it a lot when it comes to people who are becoming producers and observers, replay ops, anything that's behind the scenes, not necessarily casting. There's a lot of people who are so willing to help out people who are either just getting into it or, hey, this is the first time learning this package, so we got to give them a little bit of tips and, kind of be hands-on with them. They are so willing to help out almost anyone.
Yeah. And that was a big thing as well, because like I remember I did it wasn't Frost Giving, it was the second charity event that Luau and I worked with. I didn't work with Luau directly on the first one, but the second one, NA had like 3 people available, and I was one of them. And we're sitting there, and they go, "Can you do production?" And I was like, "Can I do production? That's an excellent question." And so Luau was very, very helpful for about 2 straight hours. It must have been like 5 in the morning where Luau was. But like 2 straight hours just proctoring me and being like, "Okay, you just change this, that'll do that. Change that, that'll do that." And so like the first time I did it, I was a little overwhelmed, but like you said, Luau was right there, staying up into unknown, ungodly hours, just helping me through the whole process.
That is one thing you'll learn very quickly. The more EU people you know, the more you find out that the EU people in esports are just fucking vampires or nocturnal creatures. They fucking stay up till 4, 5, 6 in the morning, and then it's like, well, I gotta get up and get ready to go to school or go to work, and I'm just sitting there like, dear God, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, take care of yourselves. Like, I don't know if you've had the pleasure or displeasure to meet Spectreon yet, but
Lord.
that man. I hope he has an internship this summer. I know he's in college. I know he's close to being done with it. But that man, it's so funny because he'll always talk about resetting his sleep schedule, and then we'll be playing a game at like 11 p.m. EST, so about 4 a.m. UK time, and he just joins the call and say like, "Yeah, you guys down to play some comp?"
Yeah.
We'll be in like. Yeah, we'll be like Kinetics VC, and it's like 11 o'clock, and he pops in, and it's like, "What's up, gentlemen?" I'm like, "What are you doing?
Go to bed."
Yeah.
What are you doing? Well, we be doing our face, and we're like done, and I look, and I'm like, Spectron's playing comp. It's like 3 in the morning.
He always says he plays comp that early in the morning for him because that's when no one's playing in the UK or anywhere else in the EU, so he gets Saudi players. And for some reason, he really likes to play with Saudi players. I don't know if it's free ELO or if it's just something else, but he likes to play with Saudi players.
Honestly, I would believe if he told me that it was just so he can avoid the French players.
That might also be the reason.
I mean,
I can see it.
Advanced form of Q dodging. Heard.
Exactly. He's got it down to his science.
The French have standards. They go to bed at reasonable times. This is what I can play.
It reminds me, like, I didn't sleep well for that charity event either. I remember the night before I checked in with the tournament organizer and I was like, hey, do you still need like NA producers? You know, how's everything going? Because it'd been a little quiet. And they go, absolutely. Please pick up games. We are only streaming like a quarter of the matches. We need more coverage. And I was like, hey, so when do the matches start? And they go, around like 7 UK. And I checked my phone. I checked the time, and I was like, it's 7 a.m. already. Like, I've been up all night. And they're saying, oh, if you can meet up for the walkthrough at like 11 a.m., which 11 a.m. my time, that would be awesome. And I'm like, yeah, no, I can do that. So I sleep for about 2.5 hours. I get up and I hop on the call, walk through the press thing, walk through how the package works and everything. And then they're like, hey, we're going to have an EU mainstream. That's what Luau was doing. But we also have like 15 other EU matches that aren't getting covered. Do you think you could like do those? And I once again was like, you know what? Yeah, I can do that. And so I covered, I think, 9 EU matches from 1:30 to 5:30 p.m. And I was exhausted, literally falling asleep in the last match. I'm so glad that is like buried because it was not great for me. And then I checked the time and I'm like, I still have 4 games scheduled after this. I message the tournament organizer and they say, you know, I don't think we're going to get to all the EU matches and the finals are tomorrow, so don't worry about it. We'll have them play those matches off stream. I was like, thank God. So I go to sleep. I wake up about an hour later and I have to do the NA coverage at 6 o'clock. And the NA coverage runs from 6 to about 10:30. And then I get up after the NA coverage, and then I have 2 finals due. So
what the fuck? Okay,
it was
quick thing. Learn to say no.
I know. I figured that out very quickly.
Well, yeah.
I figured that out very quickly. Trust me, I was absolutely dead.
Like, we have been advocates on this podcast in the past about, hey, if you're new, take as many things as you possibly can, get those reps. Learn to say fucking no sometimes. like get your sleep, get your health, prioritize being a functional human being. You were going over 3.5 hours of sleep.
It was a very, very long day. And I remember I did 2 finals after that. And one of the finals was like, you have to write 3 questions. Each of them must be a page long in your answer. And I kind of misread the instructions, and I answered all 7 questions instead of 3. So in about 45 minutes, I wrote like 3,000 words all the way down, and I was like, this is the worst writing I've ever done. But it'll get me a passing grade, I'm sure. And the best part of it was day 2 was tomorrow. So I slept and then did it again tomorrow.
I mean, the bright side is you're the only student, so they can't really fail you. Maybe they do want to fail you, so you stay open another year, you know? It's got a conflict of interest.
This man is the only reason we have a job. If we fail him, he comes back and we're employed. Dear fucking God.
So no, after that I was like, okay, I can't do 12-hour days anymore with 2 finals and no sleep. That's just not gonna happen again.
Like, I think the finals alone should have been the reason you just said no to doing it. Did you pass? Did you pass at least?
Oh, absolutely. No. My lowest grade was like an 85 this semester. So like I'm fine.
Then you're solid. Okay.
It's just like I have very poor time management. And that came back to bite me pretty hard that day. But I haven't had any major events like that since. And like I still put my best foot forward. We only had like 1 power outage, so it was fine, you know. Regular production stuff.
Wait, a power outage is a regular production thing?
Well, I mean, I live in Oklahoma and it's tornado season. So like
fair enough.
It's like I this season at CGL I did 18 games total. 6 of those games I had either a tornado, a massive thunderstorm, or hail hit where I was immediately after the game. So I was bordering on, you know what, this production might not happen. I have no idea.
Hey, casters, you have to tell the chat if the stream just randomly dies, it is because, well, I might be dying.
Yeah.
might be dying.
In a tornado actively.
Yeah, we have had, it feels like every reason under the sun why a broadcast has either stopped or a caster has had to go away mid-cast. Dex, who was it? Was it Mega who had the fire alarm going off?
It was Mega. It was Mega.
Yeah.
Mega who had a fire alarm going off. I mean, Fletch did a whole cast from a gas station.
That's awesome.
I think we've had people, like, I know I had to leave a cast one time to go pick up my parents because it was, I forget what holiday it was, but I was St. Patrick's Day. I had to go pick them up from a bar, and I was not happy about it. And then I had to circle back because my dad left his phones.
Oh my god.
Oh,
yeah.
I had some of those streams for RSU stuff. We had we were doing an NECC match with a military college or something like that, and at some point we have to pause the match for technical issues. I'm not entirely sure why. 45 minutes go by. The stream is still paused on this one round. It's Valorant, and we're about to resume. We're about to go back in. Our players are ready. We check in with them, ask for an R, and they go, "Hey, just so you know, our curfew hit like 5 minutes ago. We actually have to pause the match because they will turn off the computers on a scheduled interval, and we have to go and leave." And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I just sat here for an hour and a half waiting to do one singular round of Valorant. and then the RSU, they agreed to the reschedule. They're like, you know what? Yeah, of course. Let's just reschedule the match. You guys will be here tomorrow, right? And so I had to come back in the next day and do another like 2 hours of Valorant so that they could make up for the lost map and everything. And it's like, guys, you're allowed to tell them to forfeit the match.
Yeah.
Like, we've already been here an hour and a half.
So did they not make it aware that they had the curfew in the first place?
No, we had no idea.
Because it feels like an important thing to know, because
really important
thing of Valorant can take a long time. It can.
Yeah. I've worked with some very odd players in the past as well. I remember we had a Valorant match coming up, and Valorant takes like an hour a map depending on how close the teams are. And my dining hall almost always closes 30 minutes before my stream, so I never even eat dinner. But I had this one player who was like, "Oh, we're in between maps. I'm gonna go down and eat food at the dining hall and then come back to check in for the next map." And I'm sitting there like, "Dog, I have been here for an hour and a half already. Like, I do not want to be here anymore." They come back 30 minutes later. We're like, "Yeah, I went down to the gas station instead."
My God.
So I've worked with some pretty chaotic players in the past as well for my collegiate stuff.
I mean, we've talked about players at exhaust on this podcast, whether it be for really good reasons, really bad reasons. And a lot of the bad reasons are just the players not being media trained. And I know you probably have not had to deal with that just yet, but like, dear God, like I think there are some players that a lot of producers know going into a game that during the actual game being played, like in the maps and everything, you have to hide chat. You have. What?
No, I could hear.
Yeah, Hunter, I think you froze there. Like during the game, they have to hide chat just to make sure like nothing comes up from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but there. It's just so like it's so bad sometimes because like being in FaceIt games, you know, you can see the whole chat. It's the possible bad messages thing is really funny in Overwatch. It's really funny because sometimes it's just like a very like not like it's a very funny thing that's being said, but has like a slight bad word, and then other times it's like, oh my God, how'd you get away with actually saying a slur?
This is obscene. Like I can't use this. No, my director actually had a rule when I did a lot of Valorant stuff specifically, but also Rainbow, because I used to do Rainbow for like one season. Turn off chat. I don't want to see it on the stream. I don't want to see it at all. Like at any point in time, we had for a couple of seasons we had a body shooting problem, and let me tell you, my director was like, if you see any of them even get remotely close to shooting a body, switch cams. Like, get off there as fast as possible. Because I know that I cannot bear to watch my players do that. I will be too upset. And I was like, okay, trained. So, like, I almost subconsciously disable chat for everything now. Even though I don't have to, it's just like, I'm so used to just Valorant Rainbow players just going out and being like, I'm gonna say the most obscene thing you can possibly think of.
I'm gonna say stuff you've never even thought of before, okay, buddy?
Absolutely.
Be ready for some wild shit. We're gonna take you for a ride.
Yeah.
This is why I'm happy we have the filter now, and it's great because we'll be mid cast. We'll see like potential bad message, and I'm like, what are the odds I'm gonna regret opening this?
What are the odds am I gonna regret opening this? You open this just saying you're a poopy head. Just like that's
It usually is something like that too.
Yeah, or just someone saying or misspelling Shaw and saying no shit instead. That's it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, but it's the like, especially as someone who's covered multiple games like you said, you had you have that ready to go the command in probably almost every game just to hide chat.
Yeah.
But like, what's the tamest game? Like, I have to imagine it's Rocket League because I know a lot of players play with controllers, so they don't necessarily want to just put it down to type. But what is like the tamest game when it comes to actual players and shit talking?
So it really depends on like how early I get there, actually. But I have found that Rocket League is pretty much usually true. The closest they'll get are using like the in-game like voice lines or voice commands.
What a save.
Yeah. I've seen that a couple of times, but usually Rocket League they don't have like very long pauses in between rounds. It's like 60 seconds, so they don't even have time to talk smack anyway. But I would say if we're excluding Rocket League, honestly, Marvel Rivals has been pretty tame most of the times I've worked it.
Really?
From my experience. But that's because a lot of the Marvel Rivals players that I have worked with are doing it because they want to play a game competitively, not because they want to play a game professionally.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're kind of just there to take it seriously, but not take it like this is what they want to do with themselves. When I've worked with Overwatch players or Rainbow players or Valorant players, they're always like, when I graduate, I want to still be doing this. Most of the Marvel Rival players I worked with are like, I just want to do this because I want something to do in college. So like they tend to be tamer as a result, but that's not always the case. But it just tends to be closer than some of the other games. Valorant and Rainbow especially have been very treacherous in the past. So...
Like I know Rainbow's bad. I know Rainbow is still bad. CS, I don't know anymore. I haven't played CS in a while to have a good gauge on that one, but I feel like CS you're always gonna find the people who take it way too seriously for being Silver 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I won't talk about the things I saw last time I played CS2. I can't talk about the things that occurred.
Yeah.
It would put them on a watch list.
Probably. I'm probably already on there just for being in that lobby. That's...
I don't know. Like, the reason I don't play Valorant anymore is because, like, so many people just told me to kill myself just by playing fucking Neon in quick play. It's like, dude, it's quick play. I'm going to rush down mid with a fucking Bucky, okay? Let me have some fun.
Exactly.
I'm going to play Valorant like it's Call of Duty. Just straight gun it down, man.
Run and gun, baby. I just want to go fast and use a shotgun, okay?
I do not want to play corner peeking simulator. I'm okay. I'm fine.
It's kind of funny because, like, I talk about all these games, and I have experience with all these games, but, like, I had actually not played a single round of most of these before I started commentating them. I remember I worked with the senior right before he graduated, and he used to call Reinhardt Germanic Hammerman because he would forget what Reinhardt's name was. And so that stuck for a while because, like, I literally had barely known the roster, and I didn't know ult names, I didn't know map names, I didn't even know game modes. Like, my only experience with hero shooters was TF2, which granted I have 2,500 hours in, but it's not like one-to-one translation. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, what's hybrid? I just call that payload. So, like, everything was just payload to me. Flashpoint was just 5 CP plus Clash, and then was it Control was like King of the Hill. And then like other games, I genuinely had no clue what I was talking about. I just started making up terms and sounding confident in them for a while until people were like, "Yeah, that sounds about right." And then I would actually watch like Valorant Championship and be like, "Okay, wait, this actually wasn't too far off. I just got to be a little bit more precise with what I'm saying." But no, as a result, suck at color commentating. Play-by-play is what I'm good at. That is pretty much my only avenue.
I think honestly, if you're gonna get into casting, especially a game that you might not know the most about, I think play-by-play is the way to go. I think play-by-play is a good spot to just kind of get a good understanding of how you're gonna be casting with it, because you'll learn from your color as well, a lot of it there, because a lot of the time the color should honestly be the person in between maps and in between fights who's talking the most. So you have all that time right there to be absorbing all of it, and it'll help you out later down the line. I mean, I think I got started only by doing play-by-play and saying I'm only going to do play-by-play. But about a year and a half ago, I said, you know what? I'm going to try color. And I've never looked back.
Yeah.
Hunter, what about you?
For me, it's just...
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, it's just the same thing. I pretty much hard sucked to play-by-play, didn't look back. I'm happy to do color once in a while, because sometimes it is nice where you've been doing play-by-play for forever. And it's like, you know what? I need a day where I can just sit back and watch these fights a lot more. And it is interesting because I think for anyone that does casting, I think they should test both roles, realistically, especially if you understand the game well. Because one, I think it'll give you a better perspective on what role you actually really want to do, but also it lets you understand the other role better, which is good for, like, especially things like handoffs and knowing, like, okay, from experience, now I know the easiest and best way to hand this off to my co-caster without leaving them in this, like, weird spot where they have to be like, yep, indeed, and then pick up randomly somewhere else. Yeah. So, you agree? Do you agree, Dex? You agree?
I agree.
Any words?
Yeah, I agree. Why would I not agree?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You ever said, "Hey Hunter, good handoff." What's that all about, Dex? Huh?
Buddy wants me to compliment him like I'm he's Tom Brady handing off the ball to me.
I've worked with some really nice co-casters in the past as well. I don't have a formal duo now. Most of the people that I've worked with like either graduated or weren't really ever super interested in it. But the people I co-casted with quite a bit, I actually still talk to frequently. Like another RSU graduate, his name's Champion. He's super chill, absolutely insane. But like I worked with him a lot, and it's just more of a thing of like he just didn't want to follow it as much as I did. But you know, I love co-casting, and it's something I wish I could do a little bit more. But I don't have a lot of people that I have the opportunity to be like, hey, you want to hop in my stream and do play-by-play for 2 hours? like a lot of people are like, not exactly. Or at least they're like, I haven't played Overwatch in 4 years. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Like that's the thing though with duos, especially like in a lot of these community leagues, there's not really any duos. And honestly, working with as many different people as you possibly can when it comes to being a caster, at least at first, is probably a good way to go with it, because you learn different things. Like Hunter talked about a little bit with pacing and handoffs, because everyone's gonna have a different kind of way that they do it, whether it be like, hey, the moment the fight ends, like the final kill, they're looking to hand it off very quickly to you, or they want to finish their statement, and yeah, it might be cutting into the colors time or the play-by-play's time a little bit here, but they're gonna finish that off before transitioning it over. And then there's some people who just don't hand it off at all. The thing's over, and it's just like they just stop talking. They're like waiting for you to go, and it's just like there's that awkward pause. But like working with so many different people is a really good way just to kind of learn your own style and how to really. You okay, Say? Like freaking out on my desk right now. But it's like finding your own style and finding how to really work with other people's styles. It's a really good thing to have.
Yeah, and I appreciate the experience I got from that. I didn't have too much variety because, like, even at our largest, RSU's media team was 6 people, I think. We had usually 2 production/observer because it was merged into the same role. Me on play, then we had 2 colors and another play at most. And so it rotate out with some variety, but usually it was this person wants to do Valorant, this person wants to do Rainbow, this person wants to do Overwatch, and then we would just rotate a combination of those games with 2 different people at a time. So like I got to experience some of that, but you know, small college, not a lot of people super interested in talking about the games. They'd rather just play them. So oftentimes I got the people that were more interested in doing either. They didn't really care. So
But like for you, someone who wants to who wanted to take it a little bit more seriously than just doing it at your college, and maybe a little bit later, or you're gonna continue doing it a little bit more after you get done at school. Here, like, because I think I was probably one of the only people at the time from my university who's like, I want to see what I can do with this. And Hunter, I know you didn't have your college didn't have an esports program, so I know you didn't get started there. But like, what is that kind of like? Because like you're kind of sitting there saying like, yeah, I want to do a little bit more with this than just right here, while everyone else is kind of saying like, hey man, I have no idea how to help you out.
Yeah, that definitely concerned me for a while. I wasn't entirely sure what to start with, what direction to go. And I remembered that there was a player at my college, Race Ace, who a couple years back had started an organization called First Flame. Um, and played in a few divisions and whatnot. The organization had gone silent for a bit, but last season, season 7 of FaceIt, I had just gotten approved as a co-commentator, but I didn't really know what to do with that. Like, I wasn't sure if I needed to be a part of an organization or like what that looked like, because like I said, I had no one to really look for in this. And I talked to Race and I was like, hey, if you're going to be kicking the team off again this season, could I like, just hitch off the back of that and do your games? And he said, absolutely. We're going to be playing at a really low, like open division, but if you want to, you can. I said, sure, why not? I don't really care about the division. And so I kind of just did FaceIt's game, First Flames games. Like that was pretty much the first 4 weeks of the season. And then I moved, I did a couple of games for Leica. I think I did Leica Pulsars, maybe a Leica Academy.
Oh, nice.
And I worked with Corval a bit because I actually had done a pug event for Corval about a year earlier. And then Corval recommended me over to the tournament event that Luau was at. And then I did another game that ended up getting me at Shikigami. And I kind of co-stream for them pretty much exclusively now. Not exclusively, but everyone plays games on Monday, Wednesday. And so I do Shiki games on Monday, Wednesday. So it's like I don't have a whole lot of flexibility outside of that. But Shiki's been pretty much the team I've been with since the end of Season 7, all throughout Season 8. But it was more of a thing of like, I just have to figure out where to find myself. And I think, personally, FaceIt could do a bit of a better job of saying, okay, you're a co-streamer now, just go request a match. Like, you don't really have to think about it. As long as you aren't on that team, you can do any game. And I'm not on a team, so I think it would be a little bit clearer, because I was like, can I do this? Is this allowed? I didn't even know how the joining process went. I was like, I just request a match and then the game's going to invite me? That's what happened, but I had no idea. And so I think a little bit more clarity there would really invite more co-streamers to the space.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like when me and Hunter both got started, like we sent the emails in and we got an email back about being approved. And then it was like, hey, you have to keep doing this every season. You have to put in the form. Yeah. And after season 6, it was like there was never anything about the form. Like you don't have to fill it. Like they never said, hey, like fill it out to do season 7. So it was just this thing of like, I guess we just keep going with it. Like, I remember me and Hunter had the conversation like, there's no form. What just happens if we just fill out the form that they have to want to cover a game? Will they just say no because we didn't fill it out? And it just like they didn't say anything. They just got the email saying, or no, back then it was still like through the Discord, like, hey, here's the game. Here's what tier it is. And here's my FaceIt profile. And they're like, yeah, okay, hey, you're whitelisted for it. Good to go. Go stream.
And yeah, like that was a big thing for me because like I wasn't sure what I was allowed to do or what I should do. And I knew about like obviously bracket separation, but like I was under the impression that you had to get permission from the team and you had to go like contact the org manager and be like, hey, can I do this game? Is that okay? And then I filled out the form the first time after I did a first flame match, and it was like, congratulations, you're approved. And I was like, so I didn't have to ask about any of this. I could kind of just do that. And I think that kind of explaining that a bit more would be really beneficial for co-streamers like me, who tend to get cold feet whenever doing things that they don't really have any experience in outside of, for me, I had collegiate, but like I didn't have to go through a form for that. I was given a schedule of games. I didn't make my own schedule for it. But yeah, that was a big jumping off point for me.
Yeah, I think another big thing that would really get more people into doing FaceIt is just a little bit more recognition to people who do it. Because like me and Hunter have gone like when they do like, hey, here's some games coming up this week, and you know, here's 2 games by Bullskunk, a game by Boomstocks. I'm forgetting his name. I'm so sorry about that.
You had it right the first time.
Boomstocks, and then it's like there's me and Hunter, and for any regular season game, it's always really funny because if they put me in it, it's like, hey, yeah, watch it on my Twitch when I don't stream them. I never stream them. It's always Hunter's. There's a couple times where they messed up and put me or Hunter as another person completely.
Yeah.
So that was funny. But it's like they always promote like the same 2 or 3 people. I think if they started promoting even like, I understand like they're wanting to get more eyes on the biggest tier, which is Masters, but there's so many people who are covering Expert, Advanced, and Open. If they started like throwing that out there more, I think you would see a lot more people watch and a lot more people actually try to get into FaceIt League, which only helps out the entire thing more.
Right. And that's something that I've heard from like every co-streamer I've talked to is discoverability is a big thing that like FaceIt's kind of having some issues with at the moment.
Big time.
Where like
oh yeah, absolutely.
I have barely done any Masters games. The only Masters games I've commentated were Shikigami's Satori team, or you know their Masters bracket from last season. But other than that, I've done Expert and Advanced and Open. It's not that I don't want to do Masters. It's just that like I have what I do, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh no, I'm not doing a Masters game this week. I guess I'm not streaming. And so, but like for me, it's a bit of a mixed bag because like I'm not super interested in being publicized, but I agree that like if you do want the space to grow, you do have to advertise that there are co-streamers doing matches. Like, and they definitely do prioritize higher division games, and that's okay. But you know, I think it would be nice if there was here's the streams for this division and the streams for this division and the streams for this division instead of focusing on here's the ones that might be the one you want to watch.
Yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, FaceIt shouldn't be an algorithm; it should be a platform. Like we don't necessarily need recommendations on what to watch because there's always going to be someone that's like, "Oh man, I had no idea." This has happened to me so many times because I do advanced streams. That's why I started tweeting an hour in advance before I go live, sometimes earlier. I'll run into people who are like, "I had no idea you were going to be streaming this game," and I was like, "Oh, I wish there was more I could do about that." Like I try and put it in FaceIt's stream channel, or I'll put it on Twitter or something. But it's like I have 100 followers. Most of them are also producers and commentators, and so I'm not able to get that reach to the players who might actually want to watch the game that their team is playing because they just genuinely have no idea it's happening. And so Twitter has been a bit of a way to help that, but it's not something that I can just fix overnight or on my own.
Yeah, and like there's so many people, like you said, you have not touched you've very rarely touched Masters. There are so many streamers that have really focused on every tier besides Masters that should get a lot of credit, should get more observation, should get more eyes on it. But you're absolutely right. They really only do prioritize most of the time Masters. And again, it makes sense because those are the players that you could see in OWCS maybe in a month or two every time. But still, like you talked about there, the ecosystem and everything of just the platform that is FaceIt, if they focus a little bit more on Advanced, on Expert, it would only benefit them. It just I never understood it. And I mean, especially when you actually look at like the people who are co-streaming FaceIt games, you have probably about, I'm going to say 95% of all the viewers really gravitating towards 1 or 2 people. And then that other 5% are going to everyone else. So like, that's why there's sometimes when I would do it because either Hunter had something else going on or he just wasn't available at the night where I was the only person covering the game. I was getting 4 people watching while there was 120 watching the one other person. And I'm not going to beat around them. It's Bullskunk. 120 people watching Bullskunk. And again, I'm not using this as a bad thing. Bullskunk deserves those viewers since he's been doing this since the very beginning.
Yeah.
But still, it's almost just saying like, hey, there's other games going on. It would be really cool. I know people like said it'd be really cool if they had like a little widget or something or a little pop out or whatever Twitch has with like, hey, here's some other FaceIt games going on right now, and here's where they're being streamed if they're being streamed.
And I want to like really reiterate here. I don't think this is a co-streamer problem.
No,
like I
it's
think
not.
this is 100% like a platform issue. It's like Bullskunk advocates for people to go in his Discord server and be like, please put your streams in here and let people know that you're streaming. Go in the streams channel on FaceIt. Put your stream down there. Like he wants other people to be discoverable. It's 100% a platform issue of like, FaceIt. I understand where they're coming from, but they're behaving more like an algorithm than they are a platform. Where it's like these are our games. It doesn't really matter which one you want to watch. Here are all of them, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna tell them how to, what solution it is because I'm not smart enough to know that. But like, I do know that there are players that have probably missed out on watching the games that their teams played because they just had no idea that someone was in that match covering that game. And I think something could be done to really increase the visibility, especially if you specifically wanted to watch a match from that team.
Yeah, and like I remember like one thing that I tried hard to push, like it's been now a couple seasons. If someone signed up for the game, put it on the fucking website. Put it on the goddamn website. Like, hey, this person and this person signed up for it. Here's their Twitch. Here's where you can watch it. Like, it would be so beneficial to everybody. And it would also help co-streamers because there's been times where me and Hunter signed up for a game. Oh, here's Bullskunk. Oh, here's Ma and Neva. Oh, here's Joker's Ransom. Here's every fucking NA streamer covering this one goddamn game. And all they would need to do is say like, hey, this person signed up to broadcast it. You would see people move to other games so they could be the only one covering it. It would help out everybody.
There's a really big trend like translation issue with what co-streamers are doing and what the platform's doing. Co-streamers want to do more games. Like that's just the truth. They wouldn't. There's not really any money to be made here. Like we're just kind of doing the games because we want to. So like, we kind of just want to do more games. So it would really help discoverability if I could just be like, oh, someone's already got this one. I'll move on to the next. In fact, I would do that a few times when I thought about covering a Masters game for Shikigami. I'd check Twitter. I'd be like, hey, is Bullskunk doing this one tonight? Is anyone else doing this match tonight? And I'd be like, you know what? Let Bullskunk take that one. I'll go look for a different one. But I shouldn't have to be the one that has to sort through that. That's a platform thing that FaceIt could be like, hey, this match is already being covered. You can sign up for more if you want, or you could go find something else that might have more visibility overall.
Yeah. No, and like Hunter can attest to this. When we first started doing FaceIt stuff, and still to this day, there was a lot of times where we'd sit there and say, okay, we'll talk about what games we're going to do this week after we record the podcast on Monday, because at least by then Bullskunk would put out his schedule so that we could say, hey, we're not going to pick him. And then there's times where Bullskunk is very late putting out a schedule. So we have to sit there and say, okay, which game is he not going to pick? And it's really funny when he picks that game still.
It's really funny because we go out of our way to be like, yeah, definitely wouldn't pick this, but we like it for these reasons. And then it gets picked, and we're like, well, I guess we'll do the game we originally thought of because we can actually do it now. It just happens. And to be fair, it's happened less so now than ever, it feels like. But still, it's really funny what happens because then like, I'll just get a message and it's like Hunter, and I'm like, I know what this man's about to tell me. I'm already looking.
Oh, now I'm gonna fucking make some jokes with that now. I was just gonna say Hunter, and then just send you a random photo.
Oh my god!
But yeah, I've actually found some security in, as a result, doing lower bracket games because like I don't have to really check and see if anyone's co-streaming them because like it's very rare that someone is. Like the only instances I've run into where other people are streaming the games I'm doing is because they're also a co-streamer for the other org. It's like they do that org's content, I do this org's content. Just so happens that we're going to overlap maybe twice a season, right? But like there's so much comfort in doing games that FaceIt doesn't want to talk about, or not necessarily doesn't want to talk about, but doesn't talk about, because that means there's really no one already signed up for the match. I take that as a very safe guess. It's be like, well, I'll do this one in advance, this one in expert. I probably won't have to worry about that being a problem. And that's just, it's growing pains for FaceIt. I want to see change there, and I think I will see change there, but the question is how quickly will we see that change affect the platform?
The unfortunate part is, I don't think you're going to see anything this year. with it being a contract year, I don't think they're going to put much in. I think this is OWCS, this is Overwatch and ESL's contract year for OWCS and also with that FaceIt League. So I don't think you're going to be seeing any changes happen necessarily until there's a new contract. Well, I think once there's a new contract, you will know this. You'll see the signs of a new contract before it gets announced if there's new things being added to FaceIt. Very quickly, you'll know right away.
Yeah.
But
it'll be immediate.
Yeah, but like the biggest thing is like, and we've tried getting it here, at least with the people that we know who regularly do masters. It's like saying like, hey, let's get together, let's talk about what games we want to do, so that we're not overlapping, so we're not taking away viewers from you, or it's just really so we're not going up again. This isn't an attack at him, but so we're not going up against Bullskunk where he'll get 99% of the viewers and the other person streaming it will get 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But moving on away from FaceIt here, and again, it's fun to talk about FaceIt with someone else who also does it. But it's something where there are the things that we get annoyed with it, and I don't necessarily want to go too far with it, especially on this podcast.
Right.
But getting away from it here now, like you've worked all these games, whether it be producing or casting them. What is producing, observing, or casting them? For each role, what's the easiest one? What's the hardest one?
Oh man, I can tell you the easiest to produce right now. Rocket League. That game has a built-in director cam. I turn off the HUD. I put on my Bake's mod like overlay thing that tracks the booster and everything. Hook that into OBS, and then the game will literally pick the player with the ball or the ball itself, and I'm done. Producing that is a cakewalk. I check in every 5 minutes to update the score, go to a quick intermission, go back into the game, and I'm done. It's the easiest game of all time. By adjacency, can be pretty boring, but by far the easiest. Moving up the ladder, I would say second hardest to produce. It's going to come down to my affinity with the game. Would probably be, at least in the past, would be Rainbow. There's a lot of moving parts for production and observing in games like Rainbow, because it's like you have the top down overlay, you've got the multi-floor overlay, you can see the player health, you can see their ammo, you can see what traps they're setting. There you can go into the camera view, which then you can go into the gadget view, and it's like this is a lot. This is very overwhelming. That would probably be on the hardest end. In the middle though, it's a bit of a tie between like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals. I think because they're so similar. Like, genuinely, the only difference I make to my production and observing for Marvel Rivals and Overwatch is that I hit key F12 instead of just key F11. So I can hit the 12th. So I can hit the 12th person instead of just the 11th or the 10th person. And so I would say that leaves Valorant in this kind of like middle ground where it's complex, but it's only complex because I don't really understand the game that much. Like, I don't play tactical shooters like at all. So Valorant's complex in the sense of like I just don't really know what I'm doing. That's production wise. Commentating depends if I'm solo, which I usually am, especially now. Commentating Valorant by myself is tough because I can do the round really easily. Play by play, when stuff's happening, it's fantastic. When stuff's not happening, I am dead in the water. And so like my Valorant really slows down whenever we're in that 60-second pause and everyone's sitting there buying guns and I'm like, that guy bought that gun. Like, that's awesome. I could talk about that for a little bit. Rocket League's easy still. I think Rocket League's easiest across the board. Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, once again, I would say tied. Certain game modes I do find challenging. Like, I'm not very great at doing play-by-play on Control, because Control, to me, can be very slow, depending on how much, ironically, control a team has over the point. Like, if you're never seeing that point fight happen, it's just kind of like, well, this person is now, the team's now at 70%, and then you kind of just wait for ults to come online and talk about them, because there's not really anything else that the team can do. They're not getting on the point. They're not contesting it. You're just watching team fights play out and one team win over and over and over again. So I find that to be a bit challenging, but other game modes aren't that difficult. Flashpoint's, consistent. Hybrid and Escort are pretty easy as well. I would say overall, none of them are super difficult, but the hardest by far is Rainbow, and the easiest by far is Rocket League, and then right at the lower end of difficulty would be Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, but that's just out of affinity with each of the games.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like when you started talking about like R6, it was like I immediately remembered like, hey, they have the viewership stuff they have for that, especially for observers, is insane because you talked about there the different floor cams, everything. Like being able to accurately read that quickly is almost insane when you have to really think about there because there are some maps that have 1, 2, 3 floors. You can see all 10 players across all 3 floors, but it's not like you have to click through every individual floor to figure it all out. It's just like, what the hell? You just it's almost information overload, but it's not at the same time.
It definitely takes a lot of patience. Like we didn't do Rocket Rainbow for a very long time at RSU, but it takes a lot of patience because I genuinely, once again, this is the thing of like I know like borderline nothing about the game. I played 100 hours of it when I was like 14, like 10 years ago, right? So like it wasn't anything I took seriously, and I didn't understand the game then. I don't understand the game now. So my methodology, not a great one. If I see the little icon change to the bullet is firing, I swap to that person as quick as possible. The time to kill in that game is instantaneous. So I'm like, okay,
oh shit,
I see
this guy's doing something.
Exactly. Because it was like, I don't know, that one bullet could have just killed someone. Like, It's not like in Overwatch where it's like, you know what, the time to kill is a little high. I can go one over here and then maybe swap back over and they might still be fighting. No, they land the headshot, that guy's dead, and I missed it. Like, I gotta figure out how to showcase that as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, hey, at least they're realistic with that. Where if you get shot in the head, guess what? You're fucking dead. Even CS, you can tank a couple shots to the head.
Yeah.
I thought we lost Hunter there for a moment.
I'm not dead yet. It's okay.
I think
it's fine.
Almost got taken out by Cab.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I see me jumping around here and there. It's just one of those nights. The Matrix. It happens when you reach my age, guys.
What a perfect time for it to just cut out there because you said a glitch in the Matrix.
A glitch.
The universe works in very straightforward ways.
Well, here, I can give you a cat in these trying ties.
Lovely cat.
I appreciate it. You know what? That's a good cat.
It's a very good cat.
I was looking at his chops for a moment.
Is? She wants to be put down.
I'm cut out again. Okay, then I'm back. There we go.
Get back down. Don't mess with that. Don't mess with that.
Mess with it. Say, go do it.
Okay. You lost desk privileges.
No.
Oh, don't worry. She'll jump back up. She always does. Actually.
Oh, let's see.
There she goes.
Oh, wow.
Nope.
She got the message.
Understandable.
But here, let me ask. She's still there. She's still right there. Let me ask you this, especially with where you are right now with this, and now getting to use some of the Sheets.io packages and branching out from just doing your own thing on FaceIt and stuff from your school. Where do you how far do you want to try to take this? I feel like that's a very interesting thing that we have not necessarily talked about with a lot of people who are just getting into it, at least just getting into it outside of like their initial area of where they started. How far do you want to take this? Like, if you have that opportunity to say like, hey, you get with the right people, they can take you to the top, would you take it? Or are you very much like saying like, hey, I wanted to see what I can do with this, but there's going to be a day where it's like, hey, I feel like I've hit my limit, but I'm still having fun with it.
I think that specifically when it comes to Overwatch, because as for the other games, I'm not nearly as attached to them as much as I am Overwatch in its space. But I've thought about it a lot, like where do I see my future in production, commentating, etc. Everything esports related with Overwatch. And I come to the same conclusion ultimately I love video games. Like I'm a game development major. I'm going to graduate next semester, and like I love video games. So like it wouldn't be game development specifically, right? But if I got in with the right people and it became something that I could do, I think I would take it because I do like what I'm doing now. And I'm in a very like transitional, very open-ended part of my life where I have this flexibility to think, okay, what do I kind of just want to do for a little bit, right? What do I want to do before I have to genuinely consider, more stricter things like, living basically. And so I'm using that time to just be like, okay, I want to see if I can take this as far as possible. That's why, I did a 12-hour day where I had 2 finals due because it was like I wanted to see what happens if I just work like that, I picked up CGL because it was like, what, I don't have anything else to do. I kind of just want to do production and see where that takes me and see where, maybe I might find another connection that I can work with there and just keep following it as long as it'll take me. I don't necessarily see myself stopping if I hit a dead end, because, if that were the case, I think I would have stopped commentating and producing years ago. Because, like, RSU it wasn't that it didn't take me places, it's that it doesn't have a network. Like, it's just kind of a college that does esports. It does a lot of great things in that program, but it's not like I'm gonna magically get a full-time job commentating for RSU. The college can't afford to do that. So I think if I was in it for like, if I was worried about hitting a dead end, I would have left a long time ago. And now I'm just kind of like, what can I get out of this? What can I go for as long as possible getting, And so far that has been like, I've gotten a skill set in production or understanding, how esports works on a bit more of a publicized level, not necessarily, an industry level, but a publicized level. And I think for me, that means that the future is very open. I want to do this for pretty much as long as I can until life says otherwise, right? So that could be literally anything, but I don't see myself stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, and I think me and Hunter kind of fall into that same thing where we don't see each other stopping anytime soon right now. Granted, life does throw curveballs, but it seems like life's thrown a lot, and we've still been able to keep going with it. But like you talked about it there, like not having those connections, especially at the school you go to. It's like I didn't have those connections either at my school. Like I had to like I literally Googled one day, how do I like where can I cast esports? And granted, it did bring me to Broadcast GG. It brought me to their website, and then I found their Discord. So that was a big help with that because it's how I met up with like Hippie, like Hippie's kind of joked with me a couple times, like, oh yeah, I sent him like a whole paragraph because he was looking for a caster, even though it's like, hey, all you need to do is just say like, I want to cast.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like I didn't,
but you don't know better.
Yeah, I didn't know better. It was like I don't know if this person's like in something big. Like, honestly, I thought Hippie was older than me. I find out I'm like 3 years older than him.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I'm 4 years older than him. But like, here's the thing: he's tall as hell. He's also married, so being married like adds 5 or 6 years onto anyone's age.
Plus, he plays a killer. He plays the sax, right?
No,
is it the saxophone?
No.
What is it then? What instrument is it?
It's the tuba, isn't it?
It might be the tuba, yeah. I don't know
Hold
why
on.
I thought saxophone.
I need to look it up because I still
maybe a saxophone is yeah. You know the photo because it's his photo on the thing.
Hell yeah, it is. I'm pulling up Hippie's goddamn Wikipedia page.
It's the Wikipedia. We can settle this.
Look at
right
this
now.
shit.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Look at this. Awesome. This man has 2 of these things now, and a whole wall of Transformers figures.
Oh my god,
that's awesome though.
Like, I keep on telling him every year, I just want him to recreate this photo. Please recreate this photo. Like it goes incredibly hard.
It does. It looks really good.
I love how I just typed in Hippie Wikipedia and this was the first thing that came up. Like, I'm not joking. Hippie Wikipedia right there. And then you have Hippie Water.
Hippie Water.
THC. THC drinks. Oh my god.
No, but like, it's like I've had me and Hunter have had thoughts about like, hey, when are we gonna stop doing this? because you never know, like life comes around, but you've like, I imagine Hunter's had the thoughts, but I definitely have like saying, you know, I could stop doing this right now, and I would be able to do maybe this, and this, and have a completely different kind of, maybe just life or personal life. But it's like, I never liked that kind of thing. I really like doing this. I want to keep doing this as long as I can. And at this point right now, I don't care if I don't make it to the highest level. I really, at this point, I also don't think I ever will. But I'm still having a lot of fun doing this. I'm still making friends every day doing this, and I need to get hippie off my screen because I'm getting really like deep about it. You just have hippies right there. But like, I think you'll also run into a whole lot of other people who are like, hey, yeah, I just do this for fun. Like it's really fun. We've made a lot of great friends from it. Hell, I've traveled the world for esports. Like I went to Toronto, I went to fucking Stockholm just because like the only reason I was there was esports, not because I wanted to go to Toronto or Stockholm. I was there for a fucking esports event.
Yeah, and to a degree I see it as like I'm doing it just for fun, right? But I think the fun I get out of it is just doing it. Like I don't have an experience where it's like I don't burn out all that often because it's like I'm doing what I want to. Like I'm willingly choosing to be a part of this. If I ever get burnt out, I just stop or I take a step back. I do less games. I stream for shorter amounts of time. And like I don't even stream personally. Like I don't have anything that I do outside of this. I only go live to talk about games. So I kind of am just doing it for fun, but I'm doing it for fun in the sense that like I still want I'm doing it for the fun of the journey. I want to see where it takes me if I just keep pushing, if I just keep putting in time and putting in games and, you know, connecting with people and finding avenues like that. Because, you know, at RSU for the longest time, it was, I am just kind of doing this because I like doing it, but I'm not really, you know, finding anything here. I want to see what happens if I take a bit more of an exploratory perspective and see if I can, you know, find a group there or find a production or something that I really want to stick with outside of college. And so, you know, I do it for fun, but I do it for fun out of a sense of like, I want to see where that journey takes me, and I find that journey itself to be the fun part.
Yeah, like absolutely. And Hunter, I'll let you talk here in a moment about all this stuff. But like, let me ask you this: how many times have you been paid for what you've done? Anything you've done? Anything you've done?
So okay.
This is not like a saying like, hey, you like. You're not doing it right if you're not getting paid, because no, like I can look back at all the casts I've had so far this year. I believe only 3 of them have been paid. I've done 84 casts this year.
Yeah,
this is, and I just looked it up, this is day 138 of this year. I've done 84 casts.
I'm gonna run some numbers real quick, and then I will give you a concrete answer, but I should clarify what I do at RSU is on scholarship.
Yeah,
so I get scholarship for doing it.
Do you want to specify what that is? Because I'll tell you what I got for my scholarship.
So yeah, I'm fine with that. When I started, it was 1,250.
That's more than I got.
But then the bookstore closed, and now I only make 1,000. But I mean, it's a really cheap college. I have to articulate, very cheap college. That's a lot. Because I mean, it's a lot anywhere, but like that's a lot. It's because it's not a big college. So I'm not in any way like being bashing on that. I'm very, very grateful that I have that because I don't come from a place where like, oh yeah, I can just go without a scholarship. That'll be fine. No, I need that. Like I desperately depend on it. But like that does contribute. But the times I've actually gotten like genuinely paid to commentate, you know, just money that I can use that isn't just going to the school. CGL, the end of the season. That was the first time I've gotten paid doing it. I've done 4.5 years. 4.5 years.
Go ahead.
5 days a week, 3 hours a night. I streamed. And the first time I've gotten paid for a production was the end of the CGL season that I just finished. So not a money thing at all.
That is a good reminder that I have to send the invoice into Headrammer.
Yeah, I did too. For all that big money for Did one game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you did a grand finals and I didn't, so.
I think I did 4 grand finals.
God damn.
And 12 regular season match, and no, and like 10 playoffs matches. I honestly, he said send the invoice. I'll be completely honest. I don't know what that means because, like I said, I've never gotten paid for.
You have to make a PayPal, and then
Okay.
you have to you can Headram or at someone in the caster chat or staff chat, and they'll tell you how to do it.
Okay, I will do that. Because, like I said, I that was the only time I've ever gotten paid for any production whatsoever. Like, I got scholarship, and like I said, that has helped me tremendously. But like money that I can use for my own benefit, not ever been seen in probably the hundreds of casts I've done in the last 4.5 years. So.
Yeah, like I think I can go back and look at last year and look at this year already and say like, okay, how many casts that I did that were paid, and I think it was like I don't remember how many casts I did last year, but I think it was like less than 2% of my casts last year were paid,
Yeah.
and I did over 100.
Yeah.
So you're already kind of looking at maybe 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
probably that 5 to 6 area. This year, I think it's only been like, okay, you got like. Yeah, I did a couple of casts during playoffs for CGL, so that'll be, one there, but I'm going to all just kind of lump that into one because it's not like, hey, it's not individual games, it's just one.
It's one payment.
Yeah, one payment, so I'm going to lump it into one, so it's only going to end up being about one there, but still, like, the whole thing with this podcast, and hell, you can tell by the name, is like, we want to talk to people who's like, hey, we're doing this because we absolutely fucking love doing this. Hey, is there money in it? Most of the time, no. But hey, there's gonna be times where there's some money in it, and it's really fucking cool that there's some money in it. But if not, hey, I'm still gonna be right here doing exactly what I'm doing. And Hunter, I'll let you talk about this now because we have not let you talk about it.
It's all chill. I've been here kind of soaking it all in. But I mean, even like last year, like my goal was I want to get to 100 casts, and I did surpass that by like just barely. I don't know if I told you, back some recent times. I'm at 106 now on the year.
I was gonna say you've done a lot more World Cup stuff than I have, and a lot more other stuff. So I knew you were ahead of me. You're 22 ahead of me. I'm at 84.
I'll take 22. I'll take 22. Heck, take it. No, but like again, the amount that it's been paid, it's probably about the same as Dex. Like I've done some like other stuff, whether it's like collegiate stuff or like more so Scholastic. Like I'll do stuff for like I did stuff before for TEC. I've been doing stuff more recently for God, where are you? Where are you? I know what you are. I don't want wrong name. I'd rather just find the name instead of say the wrong name and be like, yeah, this thing that doesn't exist.
PIEC?
No, VHEL. Which is a lot smaller thing, but I've worked with some cool people there. But no, it is just a complete love of the game scenario. Because at the end of the day, we talk about like where we see ourselves going. I'm still very much at that point where I am just full on nose to the grindstone with a belief of, hey, it's still doable. I'm here to have fun first and foremost, but I am still here thinking, hey, this is still a possibility to maybe not make this into something that I am able to sustain off of, but something where I can do something, a lot of cool things, And I've been happy with what I've done so far this year. I'm happy that I have been able to put in this much time and feel satisfied with the amount of time that I put in. I didn't feel that way last year, despite having like 100 events that I did. So being at the point that I'm at now, realizing, oh my god, look at all this stuff that is now in front of my face that I've worked on. It makes me happy. Where's it going to lead? I couldn't tell you. There's no way to tell what's going to happen, or it will even ever happen. But it's been a lot of fun, and I hope it keeps being fun. But the day that I decide it is no longer fun for me, I think that decision will make itself. But hopefully, it's not anytime soon.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, As long as I'm having fun with it, I'm not going to be stopping anytime soon or for years to come. It sounds like that's exactly where you are right now as well, Nano.
Yeah, I think because I enjoy the production part of it so much, I'm kind of like game agnostic. Like moving forward, I'd love to pick up something like Deadlock. It's been rising so much. I've played a few hundred hours of it. I suck at the game, just like all the other games I've ever, worked with. But like because I'm so game agnostic, I just kind of want to see what it would be like to produce that or to commentate that, right? Because it just sounds like something fun to do. And so like I think as long as I have that passion in my mind where it's like, oh, I kind of just want to try doing this game or try doing this event. Why not? I'll just find a way in there. And that's really all that it takes to motivate me to keep doing stuff like this because I find the space to be so fascinating. And I genuinely get enamored whenever I tune into to a stream, co-streamer or higher level or whatever, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this overlay's super cool. I wonder how they made that. Like that's something that I just get a massive kick out of every time I go into a different stream. So
if you ever get into BPL, you have to talk to Solomon and Knock on Wood. They are the people who run Night Shift. Which is
really,
yeah. I don't. God fucking damn! Why are you posting Ratatouille in Rocket League? Like I don't know if you know what Deadlock Night Shift is, but it used to be Deadlock Fight Night.
Oh yeah.
Like they run
it.
that. That is their thing.
Wow.
Like
that's cool.
So if you get into BPL, and hell, I believe both Knock on Wood and Solomon are in the CGL server. If you ever have the chance to talk to them, say that. Like say like, hey, I want to learn how to do this, and like I know they're nice enough people that they will help out. I don't know if they will take you right away because Night Shift is a like well-oiled machine where they're actually literally breaking the game to get multiple observers in there.
I know. I've looked into it because like I follow that very closely. I've seen Jake, be a big part of the commentating there, and he's super awesome. But like I've seen some of the stuff they're doing. They like have custom made skins for that. Like they're modding in different custom textures. Their overlays are absolutely absurd. The way they get the draft stuff working is so impressive. So like I've been following that for a while, and like yeah, that's super cool. I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, like, I remember when that first got started up and they were like looking for people who wanted to do that. And it was like, I don't know if I want to get into Deadlock. I played it a little bit, just like, I just don't like MOBAs. And it's like, it grabbed me enough to at least where I think I played like 10 hours of it, but it just never grabbed my attention full to say, like, I want to learn this game and then I want to learn how to cast it because it was so early in beta at the time. It's like I just didn't see anything necessarily happening with it. But I mean, Solomon, Knock on Wood, and everyone over there just really got it going.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah. I mean, I watched Deadlock Night Shift like weekly, probably for like 3 months. So absolutely, I've been following that pretty closely. And then of course, Deathy's Death Slam, which is content creator in the space there. I watch his stuff all the time. So I suck at Deadlock, and I'm far too invested in each game to be calm when I'm playing. So I don't. I play when I am in a good mental headspace, and pretty much no other time. But I still find the game so fascinating, and partially, admittedly, because like I'm a Valve head. Like I love pretty much everything that Valve puts out. So like it kind of has my attention just because of that. But I do see it as like something I'd potentially like to get into at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, and like they're doing a really good job of it right now, at least getting out there. And I think Valve is quietly supporting them. I don't know if they're like publicly supporting them just yet, but they're at least doing enough that it's like they're not shutting them down, which is a good thing there. But we're getting to the point where we should start wrapping up this podcast. Still a couple more questions left for you though, Nano. And Hunter, do you want to go first, or do you want me to do Mega's normal question first here?
Megas should always be last. It deserves that honor.
All right.
This might be a simple one because I thought it'd be simple, but then I'm like, I don't think it's for the reason I think it is. And to explain a little context here, Nano. Obviously, we've been in the gaming space for a long time. Normally, at some point, we pick up some kind of handle, gamer tag, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes it changes. I know mine's definitely changed a couple times over the course of my life. But why did you decide the name Nano, or I guess I could say more specifically Nanotech Go, but what's the ideology behind it?
That is a D.
So
Where?
it all goes
Where?
back. It's GD. It says GD. It's
that
just
is
the
a D.
font's a little small. It is a D.
The font fucks us
okay.
up bad.
The font makes that's my bad.
Yeah.
I'm like Go. I'm like, what? Is there a pun here?
No, there's no fun. There's no fun. It goes all the way back to my Minecraft days. 2013, I got Minecraft when I was like 11, and I needed a handle. I needed a handle. What was that handle? X Nano X plays MC. Get the X's in there and everything. Get the MC on the end. Get it all in one space.
You can hear the
It was
MLG
awesome.
fucking air horns in the background.
Exactly. And so the Nano was pretty simple. I'm really short. I'm 5'6", and I'm small. Like I'm not a big guy. Like, this is just true. But I also really love technology. Like, I'm super obsessed with pretty much anything you can think of, and that ties into the production stuff, right? Like, I love knowing how production works, and so Nano was a pretty clear fit. Small technology, perfect. And so over the time, it's seen some modifications. The nanotech one is purely because most places have nano taken, like it's a handle that everyone's used. The GD on the end is supposed to stand for game development, but I don't really talk about game development that much. But I do use that just to kind of, it locks in the handle usually. But nano is probably the most common iteration because it's faster, it's easier, and it gets the point across, and it remains true to the handle it's been the whole time. So I've always been Nano. I've every single tag that I've had has just slightly changed where Nano fits into it. I had X Nano X Gaming at one point as well. My Overwatch or BattleNet tag is like Call Me Nano or something, because once again, no place is gonna have Nano in it, because like everyone's named themselves Nano at some point. So
yeah.
I'm looking at like you can look at your connections on the Discord. It's like, yeah, BattleNet is Call Me Nano. Steam is, I'm not gonna say what Steam's one is right now. But then everything else is that they call me Nano. Again, I'm not saying what the fuck we'll talk about it after this podcast ends. I want to know the story. What the fuck? Again, I'm not gonna share the thing that Mega talked about earlier on before the podcast started. This is on that level of what the fuck.
Yeah, make sure to go follow our Patreon for all the backstage scenes.
Yeah.
For legal reasons, we do not have a Patreon, so if there is one out there, that is not us. Do not give them money.
No, to put simply, my Steam is much more of like a personal reflection, because I don't use it for like branding or anything. So I know that makes it sound worse. Don't look.
I'm looking right now. Don't worry, bud. I'm looking right now. I'm taking my sweet time.
And so as a result, the usernames on there are far more just open ended. They're usually like, yeah, this is kind of funny. I think this will work well. But like, I know.
No,
I know what it looks like.
I get where you're coming from, because when I used to play Steam games a lot, it was always I would do some dumbass names just because it was really funny, and I wanted to like. I remember there was a point where I was playing CS:GO a lot, where it was like I would always have some form of "I'm sorry," and it was like I'm so sorry, like really was one of them. It's like, dear God, I'm sorry. Because it's just funny seeing in the CS:GO kill feed, dear God, I'm sorry. Op headshots. Red soldier.
Oh yeah. I get that. I used to do that in TF2 all the time. I had something like a local IT support guy or something like that at some point. All that stuff.
I have to look up mine, because I have a friend. There's someone, I don't know who it is, on my friends list who is going by Dell Multimedia Keyboard KB216.
Oh man, I had what was it, Crumb Muncher at some point. I think I had Cyanide Taste Tester at some point as well. That one was top tier. I cycle through usernames on Steam all the time. So
I can't. I could talk about my first username. Dex knows it. Talk about the second one. My friend made it for me,
and I don't think I can say that. I don't think I can say those words in combination. Both words on their own, perfectly fine in any context.
Oh no.
Together, totally different thing. Totally different thing.
I'm looking back at my.
You think I'm gonna say it?
I'm looking back at my old Steam names, and the only one that kind of I have two that stick out to me of "You Made Me Drink" and "External Agony."
External agony.
External agony.
Oh my god.
Hunter, do you have any names you want to share?
Well, actually, I think I can share this. Actually, I decided to look into it a little more. This actually is a Call of Duty term, so I can very much use it.
Go ahead.
So when my friend finally got me to playing like actual COD on like Xbox, because before my RuneScape username was something very edgy that I'm sure Dex will fuck around with in like 2 minutes here, but when I eventually got into the Call of Duty, I had the one for each of my name because you get the opportunity to change it once, and then after that you have to pay for it if you wanted to change it again. So he changed my name to Barrel, which, in the context of Call of Duty,
what
is the act of no-scope sniping while the barrel of the sniper rifle is touching or near touching the opposing player. So that is what it is. That is what barrel stuffing is.
Your mic cut out at the perfect moment.
How bad? How bad?
You said the word barrel, and then you came back and said
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this one more time with the mic nice and close. If it cuts out again, me, whatever. I see I'm still lagging out.
Just censored. It just censored you because did you say if it cuts out again, then fuck me? Because it completely censored if you said the word fuck.
You know the funny part is, I'm looking at my OBS right now. It's perfectly fine. I look over, the full second of delay.
I look over.
God.
That's it. I'm done with the podcast. You guys, Nano, you're gonna appreciate this. You guys are getting Mei Chang the rest of the episode.
Yes.
Have fun, y'all. Have fun, y'all. See you later. See you next time. For the love of pride, deuces.
Oh, it would have been so funny if his camera cut out there. If it cut out there on Deuces, and with him frozen, and it just pops back and he's just not fucking there. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Hunter's internet problems. Okay, let's move on to the second question here. Normally, this would be told by you met her, Megalass, but she's no longer a normal person on the podcast, so she wanted to back out of it for a little bit. But we have an image. So we want to ask you, what really grinds your gears about being in esports? I mean, she had a great whole thing here where, let the hate and vitriol kind of flow right here. The pettier, honestly, the better.
I gotta say, it's probably two things. One, I really I'm a very itinerary focused person. Like, punctuality is big to me. The game starts at this time. You will be there at this time. You will play at this time. You will be ready to go at this time. I do not care what happened before or during, unless it is a medical emergency. Like, I have worked with so many collegiate players, so many players in different brackets, and they have no sense of urgency. They're sitting there and they're like, yeah, we'll pick a map in about 20 minutes. I, at one point, had a stream, and for production we have call times, right? Like, we get there 30 minutes early. Oh my gosh, one of the longest days of my life. I got there 30 minutes early to a game that was supposed to start at 4:30, which meant that it was immediately after one of my classes. I get into the room, start setting everything up. Game is scheduled to start. I get a text from my esports director. He goes, "Hey, just so you know, team won't be able to play until about 5:45. I'm like, okay, that's only like an hour. I don't really have time to go back to my dorm, do homework and do all this stuff. So I just decided I'll just stay there. I'll just stay there. I might go grab a drink at the vending machine or something. 5:45 rolls around. My esports director goes, "Hey, just so you know, they won't be able to play until about 6:30 now." And so I'm like, okay, once again, it's just another hour. I don't really have time to go back and do stuff. 6:30 rolls around. I kid you not. My director says game starts at 7:30 last time.
Dear fucking God.
And it's like, I don't know what like happened in between then and now, but it needs to stop happening. I told coach, I told my director, I was like, look, if this happens again and they delay the game, I'm leaving. like I have been here for 4 hours and the game has not started yet. And it's like, and it's Valorant, so maps are gonna be 1 hour long.
Oh, dear God.
I did not leave until 11:30, and I was like, I am exhausted. Like, you have one thing you have to do: show up, play the game. I don't know why that's so difficult. But yeah, no, that one for sure. That gets me. When players are not punctual, when they're not available, man, I cannot stand that. Oh.
You share a very similar response to this question that Leg Day had. And his was just about NA players in general, but since you're talking about college students, you're talking about NA players who will find any excuse in the world to not fucking be there on time or have to call a break or a pause. Like, dear God, like, it's just insane sometimes.
I got in trouble with my director at one point, and by adjacency, the coach for the Valorant team, because they weren't taking their game seriously. There was one time we're like, it's like 8 to 10, right? They're like 3 rounds off from losing. My team's RSU's team is down 2 rounds. The round starts. What's the first thing they do? Walk off the map. And I got in trouble because I realized they weren't taking it seriously, so I stopped taking it seriously. Commentating was gone. I was cracking jokes. I was giving manga and anime recommendations. I was like, you could be watching the latest episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. Instead, you're sitting here listening to me rant about Valorant right now. Please go anywhere else. I got in a lot of trouble for that because my director was like, hey, just so you know, the coach was a little upset that you were just not paying attention to the game. And I responded, I said, look, if you want me to take the game seriously, his team and his players have to take the game seriously. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's been 2 hours and they're literally intentionally throwing the game because they're being petty to the other team. Can't stand that. Afterwards, oh man, that was a tough one for me. But
no,
the only other thing that I would say really grinds my gears is if you're burnt out and you don't want to do it, don't schedule yourself. I've been there. I have pushed myself beyond burnout and it feels bad. So all I can say is I don't like being burnt out and having to deal with burnout. So just if you're burnt out, just don't show up. Just don't show up. Don't schedule yourself. Just be like, you know what? I need to take like a week. Do that. Please do that. Otherwise, it's just tough all the way around.
No, like you're absolutely right with the burnout thing, and you're absolutely right with like when you notice a team not taking it seriously anymore, it fucking sucks, especially as a caster, because you're sitting there saying like, okay, I'm gonna try to be as professional as I possibly can, but I know this team is fucking around, and I cannot say a single good thing about what the fuck they are doing. And the other team, they're just like they want the shit to end fast as well, so they're taking it somewhat serious. But the other team is like, I'm just gonna go walk off the map 5 times. What the fuck? You can't do anything about it. Walk off the map with me.
That would drive me crazy, and that I genuinely would just be like, I would talk about the match. I'd give it 10 seconds once the round started. Afterwards, it would be completely irrelevant. I'd do celebrity impressions. I would do literally anything because I was like, I just don't have anything positive to say in this moment. There is nothing I could say to make this match articulated and compelling for you. You are better off doing anything else with your time. Luckily, that doesn't happen nearly as much outside of collegiate players. So, like, I don't have that much issue because, especially in FaceIt, the players are choosing to be there. Like, they join the team. They are, like, devoted most of the time. Some of them are still a little wacky. But I don't run into that nearly as often as I did with collegiate players. I still run into it, but not nearly as often.
Yeah, I'm like you said, it's about like you have to be there. You signed up for it. And collegiate, you could just say the exact same thing. Like, hey, you signed up for this shit. You better take it seriously. But they sometimes college players want to be fucking anywhere else, and it's just unfortunate. It's just bad. How's the manga, Hunter?
Oh, it's great actually. I remember I haven't really read this since I went and saw the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie, so it's been a while. It's nice to go back to it once in a while. I will say.
I read the manga when it was in calling game, and I finished it after that. So
Okay, that's reasonable. Okay. Still waiting on part 2. Won't be too long.
Yeah.
All right.
Surely.
All right, but that will do it for this week's episode of For the Love of Prod. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Nano, let me get off the screen. Nano, thank you.
Smart.
Nano, thank you so much for joining us, man. It was great to talk to you this week. Hunter, thank you as always. And like I said, thank you everyone for either watching or listening. Make sure you follow us on Spotify, subscribe to us on YouTube, and make sure you tune in next week for another great episode of For the Love of Prod. And as always, I don't know who the guest is. You will figure it out when I do. But until then, hope you have a good week and see you next time.